Yep. Recording in progress. Okay, sounds good. I don't have that many. The announcements that I have is I was gone for a few days this past week, but I leave Thursday, and I'm gone till the following Tuesday. So about a week and a half, I'm gone to Louds. I have a new internet plan and phone plan. Thank you, Andy, for recommending one. If you need, ask Andy if you want to change plans. He's got a good list. He's got a really great list. So I should be able to be gotten, at least by text, if nothing else, there, if something comes up. I'm just up at Louds Island, just off Round Pond by Bristol, kind of, so I'm not that far away. But if something does happen, please let the office know. Let me know if office isn't open or something like that. Missions, do you want to talk at all about what we've still got going a little bit, or we're still, no, they're looking at each other going, no, okay. Still quarters for Family Promise families and Hannaford gift cards or Walmart gift cards, so. They're going to collect them this Sunday? Okay. But if you didn't get to do that and you just want to write a check, you can also just write a check too. We take those, it's amazing. I know, so Amy, did you want to say anything about where we are with the project? Come on up to the mic. That one we want to get online, definitely, too. I haven't even read the email, so I get to find out what Amy's going to tell us all.
I guess I should go this way. So, we have gotten a report back from the state fire marshal, and they're going to have to be a few changes. So we've got to go and meet with Great Falls again to go over those changes. If people who are interested in making donations, we won't be collecting anything until when the construction's about finished. We just don't have room to store things. However, we do have a list of the items that we would like to receive or that we're going to be needing, and that list is available through a link in the weekly e-blast on Wednesdays. There's a link to the list. If you have some of those items that you want to donate or you want to sign up, email me. My email address is also in the weekly blast, so you can send it to me. Oh, and include some well, I guess if you're emailing me, I'll have your email address, but so I will be able to contact you.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. Yep, that just means to me I might be writing more grants or going back to the state for a little more money. So, because they knew that all of us were doing this on a wing and a prayer. So, and us a lot of prayers on that one. So, and I'm just going to write this down before I forget. But I was with a bunch of teachers and stuff, some from Gorham and some from around the area, and people know about what we're doing. You've probably told some of them also too. But I run into people all the time in town. Where was I? It was like last week or something, and they're like, "Oh, you're that minister. You're the one doing the asylum seekers. That's how it is now, you know." So we're that church doing that. So that's a really great thing that word is getting around, and people are really positive. I have just not heard. Did you bike over? I did. I love it.
It started raining after I left.
Of course it did. Well, glad you're here and hope you dry off. So, the other news is that we've changed, or we're in the process of changing the caterer that is renting the kitchen from us. So, yeah, I know, yay, I know. So the caterer we currently have is done as of July 31st, and then we'll be having a new company, 2 women, who are going to do meals to go. And so they'll be there on Wednesday and Thursday, and we'll let you know more information. As I tell people that it'll be a menu that they'll have online, it sounds like, and people can order and then pick up. You know, and so I keep having people go, really? Like somebody will cook for me? You know, so, okay, that was me maybe who said that. But just to let you know that there'll be a change in that, and hopefully that'll go more smoothly. And as I said, they'll be there Wednesdays and Thursdays, so that'll leave weekends open for us for chicken pie, and Monday open for the homeschool. So you can see we do a lot. So So we're really pleased that we found someone, and thank you especially to Lynn Calick. Lynn was putting stuff up a variety of places and advertising for people, so that worked out really well. All right, anything else? Any other announcements? All right. I don't know if it's in here because I didn't look at the bulletin because I left before. But next week we have Barbara Guimon preaching, and I believe the week after that is Beverly Hallman. Then I'm here for a week, and then David Farrington preaches after that. So, because then after that, I know it sounds like I go away a lot. I just go away a lot in the summer. Then I'm going to be in Iowa at the beginning of August, seeing family. So, so we'll see. So that's coming. We'll get a schedule in there at some point. So, but we'll be here, rain or shine. All right, let's gather together and let's worship. Wherever you are, whoever you are, whatever you come with, wherever you are going, you are seen, you are heard, you are welcome, you have always belonged. For thousands of years, indigenous people have walked on this land on their own land. Their relationship with the land is at the center of their lives. We acknowledge these lands upon which we worship as the ancestral, cultural, traditional, and unceded lands of the Wabanaki Confederacy. We commit ourselves to the work of dismantling the ongoing legacies of settler colonialism. And let's gather our voices together, and please stand if you are able, and let's sing together, Sing a New World into Being. Let's pray. Loving God, it is our job and challenge and joy to sing your new world into being every single day, every single moment. We have that opportunity to do just what was said here, to make sure that the homeless have houses, that our lives and all the people we love are welcome, not just here, but everywhere. God, as we hear again, as we are in your silent space, as we are with each other, let us open ourselves to that call and challenge and joy. All this we ask in your name. Amen. If you're standing, you may be seated. We're going to be talking about love and hate today, an easy subject, I thought, for the day. Um, and as I was looking for, something for us for this, for today, and especially thinking about love and just how complex and different and changing and yet unchanging that all is. And then I happened upon this piece, which I'm sorry I didn't get the author on this either. But it's a woman wrote it, and when I saw that second line about arriving at a long-loved place, the house of friends in Maine. And I will have to admit, I don't know, it's one of those things like, when you buy a new car or a new-to-you car, then you suddenly find that everybody's driving that car for some reason, right? When I was in Vermont, it seemed like everybody vacationed in Vermont, and then I moved to Maine. And oh my goodness, like I watched PBS NewsHour last night, and there's one of the people from Five Islands, Maine. And I'm like, well, you're vacationing there. I know you don't live there most of the time. But I see that all the time. And people talk about that. Oh, when I was a kid, I went to summer camp in May. Everybody's got a story. So here's a person who has a story, and it's one of those that I'm sure the people who created that story for her, or were the characters in that story, the son's girlfriend, she was the son's girlfriend, right? Didn't think much of that they were doing anything very special. She was there, and they were just having a summer in Maine. But how important that time is, those open spaces, and especially our open hearts, and our willingness to love whoever walks in front of us, who comes into our lives for the time that we are with them, whether it's easy or whether it's really hard. But that we love them in whatever way we can. And that they get to create a love story from that. And that we have no control over that love story. But that they create one. And that we get to do the same. Create love stories with people who just do that common thing of loving us in whatever way they can. So let's ground ourselves with our feet on whatever ground we are on, and with our seats in our seats, and find our breathing. I only have a moment, so let me tell you the shortest story about arriving at a long-loved place, the house of friends in Maine. Their lawn of wildflowers, their grandfather clock and candid portraits, their gabled attic rooms and wood stove in the kitchen, all accessories of the genuine summer years before. When I was their son's girlfriend, and tied an apron behind my neck beneath my braids, and took from their garden the harvest of a dinner I would make alone and serve at their big table with the gladness of the found and loved. The eggplant shone like polished wood, the tomatoes smelled like their furred collars, the dozen zucchini lined up on the counter like placid troops with the onions, their minions, and I even remember the garlic. Each clove from its airmail envelope brought to the cutting board, ready for my instruction. And in this very slight story, a decade later, I came by myself, having been dropped by the airport cab and waited for the family to arrive home from work. I walked into the lawn, waist high in the swaying purple lupins, the subject of June's afternoon light as I had never been addressed. A displaced young woman with cropped hair. No place to which I wished to return, and no one to gather me in his arms. That day, the lupins received me, and I was loved with them, because they were all I had left. And in that same manner, I have loved much of the world since then. And who is to say there is more of a reason or more to love? Loving God, you love us with abandon. You who love everyone and everything everywhere, love us as if we are the only one. You pour out your love in amazing and overwhelming ways. And God, you ask us to do the same thing, to love deeply and thoroughly this earth on which we live and those that are around us. Or at least try. And we do every day. God, let us be reminded by your abundant love of our call, whether we do it well sometimes or not, but that the love is there, calling us, surrounding us, and holding us. All this we ask in your name. Amen.
Let it fill your heart and satisfy your soul.
Did she used to love them? Well, I have to tell you guys something. I used to hate them. I mean, really, really hate them. Like my mom made them and she used to boil them. Which made it even worse, you know? I think I would have taken them raw at that point, right? And for years, I'm not on. So for years, I would not eat Brussels sprouts. Because I had to though. If my mom made us, we had to eat a couple of them, right? And you just choke them down. You try to cover them in anything. One time I tried to cover them in ketchup, and that just made the ketchup taste bad. It was very bad. So anyway, so I just had this idea then that I just hated Brussels sprouts. So when I got older and on my own, when I'd go out to a restaurant and I'd see Brussels sprouts on the menu, I'm like, I'm never eating Brussels sprouts. And I would never eat them, right? So one day I go over to my friend Antonio's house. And guess what he's making? Brussels sprouts. And he said, don't you like them? And I'm like, and I'm trying to be really nice because Antonio's a really good cook, right? And I'm like, no, I hate them, and he says, you haven't had my Brussels sprouts. And I was like, everybody says that, So I stood in the kitchen with him thinking, all right, if I do this well, then I only have to eat 2 or 3 and I'll smile and I'll nod, right? Do you do that sometimes when you don't really like something, but you go ahead and because you don't want to hurt somebody's feelings, right? Yeah, we do. The older you get, the more you'll do it, trust me, right? So I watched him. He put them in a frying pan with olive oil and more garlic than I had ever seen anybody use in their life, right? Oh, they were so good. I can't tell. I don't even want to know how many Brussels sprouts I ate that night, right? Because they were delicious. I had to change my mind, didn't I? Now, I only like Brussels sprouts when they've gotten lots of garlic on them and maybe some cheese. Here they put cheese on them too. Oh, my gracious, Anyway. Yeah, but I had to change my mind, didn't I, about that? And I mean, you guys, I don't know if you're allowed to use that word at home, but I really hated Brussels sprouts. They made me sick to my stomach, right? I didn't. But, that's the funny thing about hate, is we do. There are some things that we hate, right?
I hate carrots.
You hate carrots, see what I mean? You love carrots? You love carrots?
I love carrots.
You like carrots? What food do you really hate? Do you just not like at all?
I don't like mushrooms.
Mushrooms, that's a good one. Yep.
Taste it. I don't like mushrooms.
You don't like mushrooms either, right? No, she doesn't hate mushrooms. Yep, I got a sister who hates mushrooms. She calls them styrofoam. And she gives them all to me, right? Which is fine because I love mushrooms, right? Okay. But you know what? When I realized that there I was standing in Antonio's kitchen and I was going to have to do something different. And I may even have to learn to like them. And I thought, oh boy, this is going to be hard. Not only do I not even want to put them in my mouth, right? Though I'll have to admit, once that garlic started cooking, I was in. I was going to try at least one, right? But then, once I tasted it and realized, I love Brussels sprouts, right? All of a sudden, I had to do something different, right? And I could have said, oh man, I'm such a bad person. I used to say I hated something, but now I love something. But you know what? That's exactly what hate's supposed to help us do. It is supposed to help us find something that we love. Right? Because if we don't love Brussels sprouts, maybe we figure out we love carrots, right? Because you still have to eat something healthy. And Brussels sprouts are green and healthy, aren't they? Yep.
I really want to try a mushroom stew. I feel like that'd be amazing.
Mushroom stew. There you go.
To the church. Oh no, please stand.
Oh, really? Oh, good. Yeah. So that's what we do a lot with hate is we don't go, I'm not gonna, and sometimes people even hate other people, right? Which is bad. That's not good. Because what we need to do when we hate something is say, okay, what can we find that is good? Even in this, some people say they hate other people. We can't do that. God doesn't ever do that to us, even though we do some stuff that God would go, oh my goodness, I don't ever want you to do that again, right? When we're mean to people or something. But God always finds something in us to love and loves us, all of us actually, completely. But that's the thing that hate does. Instead of us going, I'm not going to ever, because that's what I did with Brussels sprouts. I'm never going to eat them, right? But my friend Antonio taught me how to love them instead, right? And so we can do that. Is even when we don't like something, we can say, okay, what can I like? How can I show love? Even if this is hard, how can I show love? Do you think you can do that when there's something you really don't like, and you may even use the word, oh, I hate that, But instead, when you say that, say, okay, that's hard for me right now, but what can I do? And where can I show love? Does that sound like a good idea? Yeah.
Yeah. And when I went to my Tilly's house, her dad said they had waffles with sprinkles.
Oh.
I was not going to try them, but I did, and I liked them.
But you did and you liked them, right? Sometimes that's what it is, right? We think we don't like something or we don't like a person because we don't know them. But then once we talk to them or get to know them, or once we try waffles with sprinkles, we find out how wonderful they are, right? All right, let's pray. Gracious God, sometimes we're scared. Sometimes we just, don't like things. But we can always find something to love. And we can always share that love, your love, in this world. Help us to do that, especially when we say ick or oh, I hate that or something. Help us to remember, oops, now it's time to do love too. All this we ask in your name. Amen. All right. You can head out to the porch. There's Legos, there's bubbles, there's crayons. I think they're bringing the books, okay? Sounds good? Porch right there. This door. This door. Yeah, I know what you were getting.
Strong, knowing children, honor your crown. Honor the wisdom God gave you at birth. Speak to your elders till we have heard your voice. Sing out your vision of healing on earth.
Oh, here we go. All right. Our scripture reading this morning is from Romans 12 again. 2 verses. And here they are for us. Let's let God's words be with us today. Yeah, it's a little sticky. Okay, they got it. Yeah. She's used to little ones, trust me. So here's our words for us. Let love be genuine. Hate what is evil. Hold fast to what is good. Love one another with mutual affection. Outdo one another in showing honor. May God be in those words for us today. As I said earlier, we're just going to take it easy today, and we're just going to talk about love and hate. All right? That's all. It's summer, we just take the easy subjects. So I have a question for you. What's your relationship with hate? I don't like to use the word, okay? It's a 4-letter word. Were you allowed to use the word as a kid? You were, okay. I know in some families that it's like, no, you can't say the word hate. Like you can't, well, maybe to the siblings. I hate you, you're not allowed to do that. But what else do you think of when you think of the word hate? Fear.
Always at the core of hate.
Ah, always at the core of hate is fear. Yep. Sad. When you see it or think of it or... Okay, so when somebody else says they hate somebody, then you feel sad, okay?
In today's context, I feel angry.
Feel angry. Yep. We've got... It hurts. When someone hates you or when you feel hate too, huh? Feel it, and you're pointing to your stomach, like hurts in the core of you, the middle of you. Yep. I know, we even have hate groups tracked now, don't we? the Southern Poverty Law Center tracks hate groups in the United States and has been doing that for a while. And I looked up the definition of a hate group because I wanted to keep that separate too. And that's where they pick people because of a gender or a race or a class or something, and they target them. So it's not just a general amorphous, it really has to be towards something. Pardon me? It never solves anything. Oh, interesting. So hate never solves anything. Okay. Yep. All right. I wanted to start with hate just to get that in your head, and I talked about it with the kids anyway too, because then I want to go back to love a minute too. What's your relationship with love? Complicated. Amen, sister. Anybody else? Love. Warm? Did I hear, who said warm? Did I hear warm? Okay, there's a warmth to it. Happy. Okay.
Good feeling.
Good feeling. Safe. Positive. Enthusiasm. Nice. And someone over here? Vulnerable for love. Okay. Friendships. Expansive. Butterflies. Rainbows and butterflies and unicorns, right? A lot of positive words there. Yep. Family. Unconditional. Wow. Yep. Pardon me? Puppies. Forgiven. Oh, forgiving. Ah, forgiving. Nice.
Behind the fifth green at the golf course, there was a fawn the other day.
Yep.
That had been left by mother,
Mom.
feet or whatever.
Yeah.
Would normally, I got within 10 feet, would look at you and you just looked at it and said, that isn't God's love.
Ah, okay. He got to see a fawn on the behind the fifth green. Just tiny little one. Mama went to find something to eat, and baby just hunkered down, and nothing but mama. Never moved, because mama told it to stay still, right? He said that that's God's love, just seeing that beauty. So, well, there's a couple of different kinds. Oh, did you have one more?
One more,
Forgiveness, yes. Yep. So there's a couple different kinds of love, of course, and I'm not going to go through all, there's many different ones, but there's love for something that you could have or you could eat. You know, I was talking about Brussels sprouts, right? Chocolate comes to mind. It's not my great love, but it resonates with a lot of people, right? And I thought about that kind of love when we said, oh, I love chocolate, you know, or something like love ice cream, you know, that kind of stuff. If you have a choice, you're going to choose that one again and again, right? That's what, and it's an easy choice. Right? Given, you know, chocolate or Brussels sprouts, you're going to choose chocolate, right? Again and again. And it gives you comfort, right? There's somehow you've paired comfort with that choice that you have there. The problem is, contrary to popular belief, chocolate doesn't love us back. All right? Yeah, that's... yeah, you're not good with chocolate, aren't you? We found that out, yep. But love for one who loves us back is different. And it's harder because it requires that we make a choice and that we continue making that choice even when it's difficult, doesn't it? There's a give and take, which is a whole different kind of comfort, but it can also be a discomfort, can't it? It's hard. It's wonderful and it's hard all at the same time. And making that choice again and again teaches us more about ourselves than it does about the other person. Making a choice about chocolate or coffee again and again often teaches us more about chocolate or coffee, doesn't it? Like, I have friends who love coffee, and they know everything about coffee, right? They grind their own beans, they roast their own beans, they know where all these. And as a person who doesn't drink coffee, I kind of go, oh, lovely, yeah, okay, fine. But you can tell, but coffee doesn't love them back. They find out more about it, but not necessarily more about themselves. The kind of love that we do with others is when we really do it, when we really try to love and do that hard, complicated work, that we often learn more about ourselves, because it's hard to know, really, other people. And that's where I want to say today that love and hate are not opposites. What would you say? This is not a pop quiz, but I really want to hear what other people think. What's the opposite of love? I've taken hate off the table. You can't use hate. Despair. Ooh, that. Abandonment. Loneliness. Apathy. Indifference. That's the word I came up with, was indifference. But apathy is like that too, indifference, where you don't care. I always think of it as a shrug. That's the opposite of love. I don't care, right? It's also the opposite of hate. I don't care, all right? And that's what I want to talk about, is that the opposite of love and hate, because they're very similar, is indifference. Hate is similar to love because it requires the same level of energy and commitment. And we have today, when talking about love, let love be genuine. And that's let love be the work that you're doing. And then hate what is evil. So I wanted to talk a little bit about love being genuine. Love being genuine, and even hate being genuine, means that it has to come from the center of who we are. You know, just I love chocolate is lovely. But if you had to, you could walk by chocolate. Most of us could, right? Well, some of you are going, I don't know. How much would you give me to walk by chocolate, right? But we could give that up. But real love, you know, the other kind of love, the hard kind of love, has to come from the very center. It's not easy just to walk by or give up on, right? And those of us who've had to give up on love in some places, or a certain way that we expressed love, we would probably always say that we still have love for that person, right? Those of us who've been through a divorce, right? We've had to say, I can't love you this way anymore. But I meet very few people who don't need to still go to therapy who say that they don't still love that person, right? They have a connection to that person. They still love that person. It's still coming from the center here, even if they don't, or in the heart, or wherever it is, but from our very core. And that's what I want to say too about hating, and I said it with the kids too, is because Paul says here, hate what is evil. And that phrase is really hard work. It sounds like it would be easy, wouldn't it? Hate what is evil, right? And evil and sin I use as the same definition. It's that which separates us. So separates us from ourselves, from God, from others. When I see, you know, I hear people say this every once in a while, that person really is the embodiment of evil. And my question always is, what are you seeing in that person? Are you seeing that they are so separated from themselves, from others, from the idea that they can be loved? And that's often what it is. You know, I said that about one of the guys that was protesting at the Gorham Pride celebration. I just took a look at him, you know, after spending a whole day by him, you know, really, and said, who didn't love him? Somebody didn't. Somebody did something to him that was indifference, right? Was often cruel indifference. And so when Paul says, you know, hate what is evil, that is a lot of work. So you want so hate teaches us things and requires a lot of us, just like love does. Because if we're going to see something that's evil, right, something that's separate, the hate that we feel toward it is actually our signal and call to bring healing to that situation. That's why I had a friend who said to me, because I said, oh, I hated something, probably Brussels sprouts or something like that. And he said, you're not allowed to say that. Don't say that word. And I said, A, you don't police my speech. And, and B, no, that's telling me something. When that comes out of my mouth, that says something. And it's a real challenge to me. Okay, now, what in this situation is so evil, right? Is so hard that I'm going to use a word like hate for it. And where can I be healing in that presence and in that situation? Because our call from God is never, and I hate using the word never because there's always some way that you will come up. But I really believe our call from God is to never say, you're not good. You're evil, you're evil, you're evil. Is to go around and to decide. For some reason, Christians like doing that, and we really like doing that. Who's in and who's out, who's good and who's bad, right? That is not our job. When we see something that we're inside of it, we're afraid of because we see a separateness there, right? A separateness from love, a separateness from God, a separateness from us, a separateness from themselves, right? Our job is not to say, you're wrong, you're out, you're bad. It's to say, wow, that is a big feeling in me. How can I balance that big feeling with healing? How can I bring healing and create healing into that situation? Love is really that also, isn't it, too? It's kind of the good healing, isn't it? Like, it's a joy to bring healing in love. But hate is even more. It's screaming, I'm afraid. And what's the work we need to do? That's hard, because I think of, especially in this time of hate groups, and all of that, we just want to be able, we like that list from Southern Poverty Law Center, right? And yet, you know what? Some of those people live right here among us. Some of them are related to us, right? Some of them are going to show up and have already shown up, let me tell you, on our Facebook and Instagram, and are going to keep showing up because of what we do and who we are. But instead of, I have to block them because you don't want that stuff up on your site, but I know their names. And especially if they live close. They're ours. Now, the last thing they want to be is ours, and yet I'm not so sure. I wonder if that's why they've gotten with a group that tells them to go after people like us and churches like us. But what they really want is someone to say, we love you. We know you. We see you. Like we say every Sunday, you are seen, you are heard. And you may be spouting this stuff that's really harmful and really evil and really hurtful, but we see you. That's a lot of work, isn't it? And I can't think of anything more important than we can do as people who call ourselves people of God. And it's horribly messy work, isn't it? We do it with people. We hang in there with people, don't we, when they are hard to hang in with, right? But we are not called to be pretty Facebook, Instagram, TikTok people, right? We are called to be messy. And I always say, really, if people don't see my laundry hamper, or the dishes I just refuse to do most days, right? They're not seeing the real me, right? Because that's what the real me is, someone who really hates to do dishes and doesn't mind doing laundry but never quite gets to it on time, right? That's me. But also the person who will say, sit down. Let me hear you. My job isn't to say you're wrong. It's to say, can I listen? Hold fast to what is good. This is Paul, I would say it is best for us today. Hold fast to what is good. Close your eyes a minute. Now I'm going to say that phrase again. Empty your minds. Empty, empty, empty. Hold fast to what is good. What came to your mind? Your husband.
Cubs Conti.
Cubs Conti?
Cubs Conti.
Cubs Conti. Oh, the lake. Children. Grandchildren. Nature. Now that feeling, oh, you guys all got so relaxed when you were doing that and imagining that. It was so good to see. Now imagine doing that in the midst when you're feeling hate. To find that good in that person and to hold it in that wonderful way that we hold our grandchildren and our significant others and the lake. Not so sure how you hold the lake, but you can do it. If anyone can do it, you can, right? That's what we're called to do. It's tough, isn't it? It'd be easier if I said, we're supposed to hate and just push those things away, right? But this is what we're called to do. In the midst of love and hate, hold fast to what is good. Love one another with mutual affection. And outdo one another in showing honor. That's how we weave back together when we have those holes that we make and other people make, right? When we separate, that's the separating the web, right? And when we hold fast to what is good, we weave back together. It is the good work, isn't it? It's the work that challenges us, that keeps us up at night, that has us say, oh, all right, next time I see that person, I'm going to do this. And God says, yeah. Let's pray. Loving God, they're 4-letter words. We use them, we throw them around. But you are in those words with challenge and grace and your abiding presence. Be with us as we work in both of those. And may it be in your love. All this we ask in your name. Amen. And please stand if you're able and let's sing together the gift of love.
With bravest heart and have a gift
And we come as people asked to give love every day, to give our energy in all that we do. And we show that in one way here, by gathering together our gifts, so that we can work together and be God's love in this world. Let us indeed give. Let all things their Creator bless, and worship God in humbleness. Alleluia, alleluia. Praise, praise our God, praise God the Son, praise God the Spirit, three and one. Alleluia, 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 alleluia. Loving God, for all that we give, for all that we keep, for all that we don't know how to give, for all the ways you teach us to give, God, we are thankful. For all that we can do with what we have, for all that we can't yet do, God, we are thankful. Be with us as we work and figure out how to not only use your gifts, but to be your gifts in this world. All this we ask in your name. Amen. You may be seated. One of these days I'll just let you stand through talking to the auditory. I'll get it one of these days. But let's gather together and let's pray together. For the hungry and the overfed,
May we have enough.
for the mourners and the mocked,
May we laugh together.
for the victims and the oppressors,
May we power wisely.
for the peacemakers and the warmongers,
May clear truth and stern love lead us to harmony.
for the silenced and the propagandists,
May we speak our own words in truth.
for the unemployed and overworked,
May our impress on the earth be kindly and creative.
for the troubled and the sleek,
May we live together as wounded healers.
for the homeless and the cosseted,
May our homes be simple, warm, and welcoming.
for the vibrant and the dying.
May we all die to live.
Loving God, we come as your people in this time and place. We gather together in your love. And God, we are thankful. We are thankful that we can gather and that we have this group of people that we love and love us. Because God, that is the strength we need in this world where we can't always love when it's hard. And we know we have people here who will teach us, who will support us, who will love us when we are indifferent. But God, you are never indifferent to us. You are always there with the energy and love, with the fullness that we need. God, let us turn to you again and again. Let us realize that we are always in the midst of you, enveloped in you. Not as a protection, but as an energizer. Let us use your energy of love in this world. And God, on this day, as we are cozy in here together once again, as we join with people from miles away too, as we are safe, as we are not listening for the sounds of drones or bombers or gunfire. Let us not be comfortable in what we have, but may we know in our hate for violence and war, let us hear your call to then bring healing, to not just be pleased that it's away from us, but let us work to make your peace everywhere. God, as we talk as a country now of giving cluster bombs that kill more civilians than they do anything else, who kill more children than anything else. God, forgive us for our small minds, for our cold hearts. God, there are ways to bring peace. Let us work those ways. Let us lift up those voices. God, forgive us for our warring madness. And God, forgive us for when we don't want to learn, when we don't want to learn how to be healing and bring healing to situations. Open us. Forgive our indifference. And let us bring our open hearts wherever we are. God, for those who are so separate from themselves, who can't feel the love that surrounds them, God, may we be that love. May we get past our fear and know that your love has no depth or breadth, that it is endless, and that we can go back to your love all the time to give and share more. For those among us, God, who need your healing love, whether it's healing of mind or spirit or body, we think of those that we have named, those that remain in our hearts, and we add Emma Jean. God, be with all of them, and may they know your presence. God, for all the ways that you're going to call us this week to be your people, let us be ready. Let us not stop because we're surprised or turn away because we're afraid, but let us step toward you. And hear us as we listen for your voice in these words that we pray together. Great love, the root and sap of our evolving fullness, nudge us forward in our creative potential so we may flourish for the common good. In each mindful moment, help us recognize that we free ourselves from the ghost of our past. In the release, we grant those who have harmed us. Keep us focused on what is right. Make us thirsty for what is just. For it is love that knows the way, shows the way, becomes the way to the fulfillment of eternal call. Amen. And let's stand together, if you're able, and sing our final song. We are walking in the light of God. If you know it, you don't even need the words. I'll just call out the next one.
We are walking
are dancing in the light of God. We are dancing in the light of God. We are dancing, we are dancing, ooh, we are dancing in the light of God, of God. We are dancing, dancing, we are dancing, ooh, we are dancing in the light of God. We are praying 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 in the light of God. We are praying, we are praying, we are praying, oh, we are praying in the light of God, of God. We are praying, we are praying, ooh, we are praying in the light of God. Sia haven kukan yen wake 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 God. We are hamba, sia hamba, ooh, sia hamba kukan yen wake God. Sia hamba, sia hamba, ooh, sia hamba kukan yen wake God.
For all the singing and praying and marching and walking and loving that we are going to do this week. Go. For we are in God's light. We are God's light. And God's light is with us